Hello, everybody. It's me again. It's Russell Mills. Oh, what's going on here? Hello, everybody. It's me again. It's Russell Mills. January 20th, 2020, 2020. I say hello to everybody. Hope everybody is blessed today. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I just have a question I got to ask. Um, how come that they celebrate Martin Luther King Day? They have a holiday for him, but they don't have one for Malcolm X. And the reason why I asked this question is because it's like Martin Luther King, obviously he's done a lot, you know, when he was alive, and it's crazy how both him and Malcolm X died at the age of 39, both of them, which is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? He died. Malcolm X died February 21st, 1965, and Malcolm X died. I mean, excuse me. Martin Luther King died in 1968. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy but I feel like both men had a lot of impact in our communities and the world over the world. Yes, there's Malcolm X Boulevard streets. Is what I mean. That's great, but I just feel like Malcolm X, and I'm not saying he doesn't get his shine because they do. You know what I'm saying? They give him a lot, but um, I'm gonna just read something real quick. Says the idea of Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a holiday was promoted by labor unions in contract negotiations. As after King's death, U.S. Representative John Conyers, a Democrat from Michigan, and U.S. Senator Edward Brooke, a Republican from Massachusetts, introduced a bill in Congress to make King's birthday a national holiday. The bill came to vote in the U.S. House of Representatives in 1979. However, it fell 5 votes short of the number needed for passage. Two of the main arguments mentioned of opponents were that a paid holiday for federal employees would be too expensive, and that a holiday to honor a private citizen would be contrary to longstanding tradition. King had never held public office. Only two other figures had national holidays in the U.S. honoring George Washington and Christopher Columbus. This is soon after the King Center turned to support from the corporate community and the general public. The success of the strategy was cemented when musician Stevie Wonder released the single Happy Birthday to popularize the campaign in 1980 and hosted the Rally for Peace press conference in 1981. It said 6 million signatures were collected for a petition to Congress to pass the law termed by a 2006 article, The Nation, as the largest petition in favor of an issue in U.S. history. So Senators Jess Helms and John Porter East, both North Carolina representatives, led the opposition to the holiday and questioned whether King was important enough to receive such an honor. Says Helms critics criticized King's opposition by the Vietnam War and accused him of, I'm going to say, escaping action-oriented Marxism. Says Helms led filibuster against the bill on October 3rd, 1983, submitted a 300-page document to the Senate alleging that King had associates with communists, and it said Democrat New York Senator Daniel Patrick declared a document a packet of filth, threw it on the Senate's floor, and stomped on it. So President Ronald Reagan originally opposed the holiday, citing cost concerns. When asked to comment Helms' accusation that King was a communist, the president said, "We all know in 35 years, uh, won't we?" Referring to eventual release of the FBI surveillance tapes that had previously been sealed. But on November 2nd, 1983, Reagan signed a bill proposed by Representative Kate Hall of Indiana to create a federal holiday honoring King. The bill had passed the Senate by the count of 78 to 22 and the House of Representatives by 338 to 90 veto-proof margin. The holiday was observed for the first time on January 20th, 1986. It's observed on the third Monday of the January. So again, like I said, I'm not going to sit back and say, Martin Luther King didn't do good, and stuff like that. But it's just like, I don't know why they honor him so much, but they don't honor Malcolm X. And it's like, this is basically Malcolm X. He was born May 19th, 1925. He died on February 21st, 1965, better known as Malcolm X, the American Muslim minister and human rights activist who was a popular figure during the civil rights movement. He was best known for his controversial advocacy for the rights of blacks, who indicated white America is the harshest term for its crime against black Americans. He was accused of preaching racism and violence. He's been called one of the greatest and most influenced African Americans in history. Here's the thing that people got to understand about racism. You know what I'm saying? Racism has power. Malcolm X was not a racist. He did not control white people. See, I hate when they try to throw this, he's a racist involved. Like, Malcolm X had no power over white people. He influenced, people by his thoughts and what he read, just as well as Martin Luther King. But again, I feel like they need to give Malcolm X a holiday, because if they give Martin Luther King a holiday in January every year, they should give Malcolm X one. You know what I'm saying? They should give him one in February or March. That's how I feel. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Again, they only have February, which is 1 month of Black History Month. You know what I mean? I don't understand that, but Black History Month is every day. Basically, yeah. Malcolm X, he was born Malcolm Little in Omaha, Nebraska. He spent his teenage years living in a series of foster homes following his father's death and his mother being hospitalized. Since Little engaged in several activities and was eventually sentenced to 10 years in prison in 1946 for larceny and breaking and entering. Says in prison he joined the Nation of Islam and changed his name to Malcolm because he later wrote Little was the name that the white slave master, has imposed upon his paternal forebears. After being paroled in 1952, he quickly became one of the organizer's most influential leaders. This is during the Civil Rights Movement. Malcolm X served as a public face of controversial group of dozen years, where he advocated, for black empowerment, the separation of black and white Americans, who rejected the notion of civil rights movement for its emphasis on racial integration. He also expressed pride in some of the social achievements he made with the nation, particularly its free drug rehabilitation program. In the 1950s, Malcolm X endured surveillance from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, for the nation's supposed link to communism. This is in the 1960s, Malcolm X began to grow delusional with the Nation of Islam, in particular with its leader Elijah Muhammad, expressing his many regrets about his time with them, which he wrote to come to regret as largely wasted. He instead embraced Sunni Islam. Malcolm X then began to advocate for racial integration, racism, after completing Hajj, where he also became known as Elijah Malik El-Shabazz. After a brief period of travel across Africa, he notably rebuked the NOI and founded Muslim Mosque Incorporation, MMI. And this is throughout 1964, his conflict with the NRI intensified. On February 21st, 1965, he was assassinated by 3 members. Malcolm X Day is celebrated in various cities and countries worldwide. and hundreds of streets and schools in the U.S. and named its honor. But I just feel like it needs to be a holiday every day. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Because it says Malcolm X Day is celebrated in various cities and countries worldwide. But my question is, how come he doesn't have a holiday named after him? That's all I have to say. But it's like, again, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, great leaders. You know what I'm saying? No matter what Martin Luther King did, because we know he was cheating on his wife. We already know that. And like I said, but as far as what the impact he made on this life, he made a huge impact. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get people to come together. You know what I'm saying, in all capacities. So again, like I said, um, you can't get enough of this man, regardless of whatever he has said or done. Because remember, he was a human being. He was flawed. He wasn't perfect. But you know, is what it is. But I just wanted to say thank you for anybody that's watched any of my YouTube channel, my YouTube videos, I should say. And feel free to spread the word. My first video was called Why Black People Settle for Less. That was on, you have to type in for my first video. May Russell Mills, RussellMills, May 22nd, 2017. It's my first video, Why Black People Settle for Less. So feel free to take a look. You might be bored. You might not like it. That's fine. Maybe you say I talk too much. That's your business. But everybody take care. God bless. Peace.